You guys want to see the best feeling in the world? Right here. Crossing things off the list. Only 424 things more to go. Well, here we are, another week, another update. It's actually been about 2.5 weeks since we were here last, so lots of things to update on this one, a lot of different things to kind of cover. Unfortunately, I was traveling for a week or so I had some guys working on the house here while we were gone, and we'll go through a bunch of the updates of stuff that's been done this week on the Weekend Homestead. Here we go. All right, first big update is the kitchen starting to come in. If you remember last time, the cabinets were all in boxes. We've got our island here that we're putting together. We're actually swapping some cabinets. This is the garbage can, and that's the space for the dishwasher. Originally, we were going to have it in the island, but I think we're going to move it over to right here, take this smaller cabinet and put it in the island. All the electrical outlets and all the fixtures are working, so now we have working light switches in every location. Cabinets are all mounted up on the walls. We've got our first appliance came in, so the stove is in. We've got our range hood in, and it works. We've got some temporary countertops in here until we get our countertop situation figured out. We've started to jam out the windows, so all the windows here have got the sill plates in and the jams in. We're working on the trim. We've got some of our light fixtures in, kind of a nice fixture with an Edison bulb inside. Same thing here with the light over the island. All the cans, all the electrical, everything in the house is all hooked up and running. Front window, we're starting to jam that out and get that going, so that's going to be good. We've got everything prepped here. Looks like a big pile of mess, but that's half of it is the trim stuff that we need, and half of it is the floor. The hope is in the next week and a half here, we're going to be installing the hardwood floors in this area. But now that we've got the cabinets in place, we can start really finishing and moving along here. Hopefully we'll get the refrigerator up here shortly. A couple people have asked about the painting on the wall, why we have the different colors on the wall there. Actually, in all reality, that part doesn't need to be painted because it'll be tile backsplash underneath and behind there, so that's all going to be covered up anyway, so you'd never see it. So that's the only reason why that's not finished, and that's also the reason why we don't have the plates on any of the outlets, because once the tile goes in, then you put your plates on after that. That'll be hopefully happening in the next couple weeks. Go down this way here, we'll do this update. The hallway is coming together. Scuttle hole has been taken care of. One real nice thing about our scuttle hole and up in the attic is when we got a couple warm days, we spent some time and blew in insulation. So now we've got our standard batt insulation, which is R38, and then on top of that, we've got, I think, 12 to 14 inches of blown in insulation over the top throughout the whole house. And then on the end of the house where the sunroom is, we cut that out also and blew in insulation over the sunroom, because you can't really get to the sunroom from inside the house. But now the house is completely insulated and really tightened up. The only thing left on insulation side is having the guys come in and do the blown in insulation down in the basement, the foam stuff along the sill plate. So that hopefully will happen in the next couple weeks here. Here's what our new scuttle hole looks like, kind of bringing the same pine finishings. Our new temporary bedroom, we've moved from downstairs to upstairs here. We've got our sill plates in here. Again, just about ready to start doing some trim. Same thing right here. That one's ready to go. This closet's been completely repainted and everything should be good now on this. It's just drying right now, but working good. So we have our smoke detectors in, we've got our ceiling fan in. I'll tell you, having a ceiling fan in each of the bedrooms is a nice way to keep it cool during the summer. And even if you have it on low in the winter time, it kind of keeps the heat off the ceiling and brings it down here. So coming this way here, we've got our tile work done in the bathroom on the floors. It's kind of a wood grain style. We have our bathroom vanities in and this cabinet's in. We're trying to get everything squared away for our countertops in here for the sinks. It's just one of those things that we haven't gotten to. But we got the fan in, the solar lights are in, all the cans are in, all the tile work on the floor down here is all done. Everything turned out good. Hoping to get the toilets in here in the next week and get those working. In here we've got everything ready for the tile. The short of it is we'll have kind of a bullnose tile that goes to a glass door. Then there'll be a decorative piece that comes around, and then the soap and the shampoo bins will have decorative tile in it, and then just some standard fixtures. But really, the closet or the bathrooms here are getting pretty close to being done. Coming into the master bedroom, it's become more of a staging area for items. I've got our low voltage in on the walls here. We've got our ceiling fan in up on the ceiling again. This is more of staging for the floor. Our toilets are in here, our vanity, some of the appliance stuff. It's one of those things where, it's an easy storage space. The master bath is coming together well. The floor turned out great. We hooked up our little heater in here, and that's working well. Same type of tile in here. This is an example of what the tile walls will look like. So that'll look really good, especially with the rock. We're getting ready for putting the toilet in here. We've got the vanity in. Well, here we are, this sunroom. The last room inside here. There's no real updates downstairs, but this space has come out awesome. We've got our tile in. It just needs to be washed. It's just setting right now. You can see we've got our stove in, the trim in for the windows, all the walls, all the upper trim. We're waiting on our trim for our doors, but that should be here hopefully in the next week or two. All of our outlets are in, the heated floor is in, the extra electrical heat out here is in. We're hopefully gonna have our log framing for around that window there to do the decorative in the next week or two. The ceiling fan is in. The windows are all ready to go. The only thing that's left to do out here is finish this trim spot, do the windows here with the poly on them, and then we've got a little bit of washing and cleaning of the fireplace. Cool little wood stove. I can see sitting out here on a chair, looking out the window, listening to the fire, reading a book and relaxing. It'll be a nice quiet space in the house. Great for in the winter time here, and then in the summertime, open these windows all up and let the air come into the house, and I think it's going to be great. Flooring, I had the heated floor on the other day, and as you know, a lot of people notice that I walk around in flip-flops in the house. I don't know why, I've just always done that. It's kind of my style, but I took off my flip-flops earlier and I walked on the heated floor in here, and it is very nice. It's the idea that you can come in with muddy and snowy boots. We'll be able to sit down on the bench over here and take off your boots and everything like that. If the floor gets wet, because it's heated, it'll dry itself, so it'll keep it nice and clean in here. This has turned out great. I wanted to show you guys this. Some people were asking me how I keep track of what's going on. What I did was I made a punch list of all of the different areas of the house. So we have sunroom, great room, kitchen, hallway, boys room, guest room, master bedroom, master bath, basement west side, basement east side, stairway, hallway, electrical, garage, mechanical, and so on. Right now, this is the punch list for the house of what needs to be finished. There's about 435 items on this list. Some of the items on this list are exceptionally big, like trimming out the windows. That's going to take a lot of time to do. I'm not very good at it. Todd and Mark are going to work on that one, and it'll turn out awesome. Other items on the list are really easy, like putting the refrigerator in. It's literally take it off the trailer and roll it into the space, plug it in, and it's good to go. So some of the items on the list won't take very long. Some of the items on the list will take a long time. So this is it. This is the update to the house. Everything is coming together. I will say that it's moving really slow. We are now in the really nitpicky, small parts of the project. When this was opened up and just open walls, and we had the mice and we had the bugs and we had the floods and we had the fire and all of those types of things, you know, there were big changes that happened as we were going along. When we took out this window and we ended up putting in this larger window, or we took the ceiling from the height that it was and then raised it up, those are major changes. Now it's going to be very small changes, like trimming out windows, or even little things like this. Somebody hit the wall and we just need to patch this little spot right here. Those types of things need to get taken care of at the house just as much as the big projects. It's really what kind of brings the whole project together. So over the next 4 weeks, our hope is to punch out between 50 and 75 of the items on the list every week. And that'll get us to the point where everything will be finished. We're getting close to the end. We're getting to the point where now we'll be able to use this place. It's just a couple more weeks. It's like a marathon. You know, every week I drive up here on a Friday, come back on a Sunday. I've got between 6 and 12 hours a week in the car for the last 12 weeks. So I've got about 140 hours worth of time I think we have logged in the car, just coming back and forth, especially with all the independent little special trips or things that I've had to do to run back to town to pick up more materials and things like that. So one thing to put in perspective when you're doing a remote project like this is the amount of time and energy it takes to get the materials to the work site, let alone do the work itself. So make sure you put that in your plan if you ever decide to do a remodel on a remote property. Like I said, if there's any other ideas or questions you have, make sure you leave them in the comments down below. If you want to follow along for some photos, we do have an Instagram account. You can follow along on the Weekend Homestead on Instagram and you'll get more up-to-date photos. Some of you who have been watching knew that I was kind of behind on videos there for a little while, trying to get caught up now, and the Instagram account had more live photos. Like, to give you an example, the pictures of the kitchen were up online about a week ago or so, and you know, I'm just getting to shooting the video now for it. So there is a little bit of delay, but Instagram is an easy way to follow along. So if you get a chance, hop over to our account. There'll be a link in the description. Just hit follow and you'll be able to see the photos and reply if you have questions or comments on it. And then again, leave questions or comments here out on YouTube and I'll reply to them if I can and cover whatever questions everybody has. Thanks for watching.